Let's dive right into it. What up, Dan? Welcome back to the show, man. I know we're on a time crunch and you got a lot of exciting news, so I'm gonna give you the floor and let you run with it, man. What's up?
Brian, it's been a crazy couple weeks, and it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down. It seems like it's just going to keep ramping up, and we're super excited on some things that are coming up. And I'm glad you got me on here for a real quick, info dump, so to speak. So these are kind of announcements, and I feel like you have done such a good job with kind of cascading our message to your audience. I feel like this is a really good outlet to talk about some of these things. And
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we want to talk about is the launch of the Flux marketplace. Over the next week or so, you're going to see our marketplace come online, and you're going to see new customers coming into that as well. When I say new customers, new projects that have launched, and they're not available quite yet, but they will be with the marketplace. You think of it as like an Apple store or, an app store in Apple, but it's for a decentralized computational network, which is kind of cool. We're really excited about that. There'll be more information kind of continuing to cascade out about that over the next week or two. The ultimate goal is to have it ready for the 30 on 30, because we'll be able to showcase exactly what you can do with the marketplace, with Flux, and then of course we'll be launching 30 different applications in 30 days, approximately 30 days.
That's insane. So on these 30 applications, some of them will be dApps, and then some will be regular brands coming on. Is that can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'll throw a little teaser out there too. We have privacy-based coins that are gonna launch their websites there. We have business-based applications that are going to launch there. We have games, lots of games that are going to launch there as well, game servers. You're going to see pretty much a little bit of everything. And we use the 30 and 30 because we get a lot of questions. It's like, well, why don't you just launch 30 applications and then you tell everybody they're there? Or, once the marketplace is live, you'll see them in marketplace. Part of it is we want to showcase exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, and the fact that you can do it so quickly. And we also want to showcase these projects, because some of these projects have worked super hard to build out what they have. So we want to make sure that we give them an opportunity to kind of showcase what they're doing, as well as showcasing our network.
That's huge, man. That's gonna be so freaking exciting. So is that kind of be like Steam, where you can actually buy things through the Flux marketplace, whether that's memberships or?
It'll start out as ultimately kind of what's Steam did in crypto. We eventually want to be kind of like that, in the sense that we're taking a place for a problem that now exists. But we want we want to be able to allow the creators of these dApps, creators of this content, to be able to monetize it as well. That'll segue into the next part of the stuff that we're going to talk about with Coin Request and some of the other things that we're doing there. But yeah, I mean, it's really to allow those individuals to monetize their platforms, whatever they are. So one of the things we're looking at now is a YouTube-like platform that will run on Flux. I can't give you more information than that. It's going to be kind of cool how it's all going to play out. So we're working with projects that really want true decentralization, and that's exactly what this marketplace is going to provide for not only those applications, those dApps that are going to be running there, but for also the people that are consuming them.
So freaking cool. So let's segue now. This is the one I think I'm most hype about. Coin Request?
Yeah. So, Ryan, you and I were talking kind of offline, and we were talking about the breadth of the network, how big it is. This project has got so many facets, so many components. And, and I started kind of going back and forth with you, and I'm like, yeah, well, we haven't even tapped into Coin Request. And you're like, well, wait, what are you talking about? So I started to explain with Coin Request, and you're like, man, this is like a game changer. This is like what we're doing. But Coin Request is a product that is Flux and Zelcore based product. It's owned by the company for Zelcore. But ultimately, what we're looking to do is start doing some integrations. We're going to totally revamp the way Coin Request works. It works really good now as it is, but we want to be more of the Patreon style ability for people to send and receive crypto, and very seamlessly. And I will tell you, you can, Ryan, I sent your request on WhatsApp for like 250 Flux. I'm like, don't pay that, but I wanted you to see it.
Yep.
And the nice thing about it is it's all tied back to not only Zelcore, but integrated with pretty much every crypto wallet platform out there is. BitPay, there's a whole bunch of other ones on there. So what it does is it allows people to have a more seamless kind of process, not only from a transactional scenario, but also from, content creators and participants, your projects, to be able to fund and generate payment requests, right? So, I mean, really, that's what Coin Request Request does is it takes the place of Quicken or something like that, and you can really work and be viable. I'm not saying it takes the place of Quicken, but I am saying it gives a different level of integration, because you'll be able to export your transactional information, your if somebody has an open request that hasn't been paid yet, you'll be able to integrate that right into your bookkeeping software, and it kind of bridges a gap, because we have to rely, if you're in the blockchain space or you're in the crypto space and you want to settle in crypto, we're very limited as to what we can do. Right? You can't really run an all crypto business. Coin Request gives you the ability to bridge that gap. So content creators can have a personal page, people can contribute there. It also can mean that you can send requests there. So if you're a business or an organization that's working and you want to settle in crypto, super simple. You can send them an email, you can send them a WhatsApp, a tweet, you name it. Every single social platform is integrated into it.
That's huge, because I do a lot of work for companies that I market for, and they're always like, how do we pay you? You know, it's always like, it'd be so sweet just to be able to invoice them with one click of a button, just boom, and send them a request for payment.
Yeah, that's what Coin Request is. So you would be able to go in there and say, you can do it one of two ways. I'll send you a request. Where do you want me to send it at?
Yep.
Right. But for somebody like a content creator, you deal in different platforms. You might be in WhatsApp, you might be in, Telegram, you might be in whatever. And it's easier to just go in and do the request, boom, and it goes to whatever platform. It literally on your device, you go in and you select how you want to send it, hit send, it opens that app up. So in the case of WhatsApp, it opened WhatsApp, hit send, done. So it's super seamless to be able to do those transactions. And the nice thing is it's completely settled in crypto. You're not going to have to worry about being deplatformed, because this is all going to run on Flux. Somebody decides that particular day of the week, they just don't like crypto anymore and they're going to get rid of it. We're still going to be doing what we're doing. We're not going anywhere. So it puts the ability back in the content creators' hands and application developers' hands, or really just the end users' hands, right? And it gives them the ability to do those settlement method very quickly. And you can check it out, coinrequest.io. You can also see it in Zelcore. If you go into your receive button at the bottom of it, it'll say make a request, and then you can use Coin Request. I highly recommend it. That this isn't a proof of concept. This is existing today, which is kind of cool.
That's huge, man. That's so freaking cool. And where that could scale and go into is like, to invest in Coin Request, you just invest in Flux. It's all in one package, right?
That's right.
That's where I keep trying to show people, like the marketplace that Flux is building right now, and the dynamics, what it's going to take for somebody to disrupt Flux. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing's impossible, but the reason that nobody's really disrupted YouTube, right, is because they bring that such a massive value proposition to their community that you're all in one spot. Everything you need YouTube to be, it pretty much is, right? Besides it's centralized, and like they'll kick you off for anything. They can kick you off for anything, but like Flux has Coin Request, they have Zelcore, they have nodes, they have miners, you guys are just dropping bombs. And now you're gonna have Flux Marketplace. You said something else? We got one more?
Yeah, we have one more. And the only thing that I'll add at the end of that for Coin Request is this: what we've done over the past 4 years is build. And the one component that ties it all together in this entire ecosystem, this massive ecosystem, is that the ability to have Flux be the central part, pull it together, the utility asset of all utility assets. So that's super cool. Yeah, and the third thing I just kind of wanted to talk about is, and this is kind of the unsung hero of the project. One of the very first projects we launched on Flux when we were able to start standing up dApps was Fetch. You can find it at markets.fetch. You can go into the website, run on flux.io, and you can find it that way as well. But basically what it is a decentralized pricing oracle. And it's a pricing oracle for now, which is kind of cool. You can get aggregated prices across all exchanges. So essentially we took all the major exchanges and we aggregate their data to one data point. We also give you a daily average, will give you a market average, will give you all these things. But why is that unique? Well, it's unique because nobody controls it. This data is raw data. It's coming in from these exchanges and it's not manipulated. It doesn't run on a centralized third-party server. this is as raw as you get it. And if one of the biggest things it's used for is arbitrage opportunities. So people go in there and they keep fetch open and they'll refresh it and they'll see where their arbitrage opportunities are and they can execute them super quick because all the aggregated data is there and it's not been manipulated or changed. It's raw data coming from these exchanges APIs, which is kind of cool. But the next version of what Fetch is going to do is it's going to move a step beyond that. And it's not only going to give you the market data in terms of the financial side of the world, but it's going to give you social aggregation as well. So you'll be able to see the social aggregation happening at the same time the market aggregation is happening. And why is that important? Well, if we know we've been in crypto, you can see very early on in the social aspect of things, well before you see the movement in the price aspect of things.
100%.
It gives us the opportunity to have our social sentiment and our price sentiment in one place, in one dashboard, not controlled by a third party or entity, that people can use that raw data. That's going to be super huge for people that are doing due diligence on really any type of asset, or whether they're trying to take a position in something, like for instance, Flux. I use it for arbitrage all the time because it works great. And now if you had the social aggregation piece, which is going to be powered by Lunar Crush, we're going to be implementing that API as well. So you'll be able to see not only the dollars and cents, what are people saying and what is the sentiment? Now we have to kind of do those two things separate. We have Lunar Crush that we look at, we have the market data that we have to comb through, and then we hope like hell that we get it right at the right time.
Yep.
This gives us the ability in a decentralized, because that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest kicker of this, is it's a decentralized org.
And how much is it going to cost to use?
Nothing. And here's the other kicker. Not only because we believe in decentralization and we want people to build their dApps and be able to have access to that kind of powerful data that, all the big companies have spent years trying to, make these back ends. We want to give it away. And not only are we going to give it away, but we're going to give you access to the API that comes out of it. So we're going to act as truly what an oracle is. An oracle is acting as that centralized point for the aggregated data. And now the difference is that centralized point is actually decentralized because it's ran on Flux. And then what we're going to do is provide that API to developers so that they can develop their projects and their platform on top of it. So,
Wow.
we're committed, 100% committed to our communities and having them be as successful as they can humanly possibly be. And part of that is giving them some really good tools in the toolbox. And Fetch will be one of those massive tools.
I tell you what, man, your community is in love, and everybody in my community that I've sent your way, they couldn't even be more happy. Even people that got into Flux at absolute peak right now, they're like, I'm just buying more because I'm DCAing down. Like, I know I bought in at peak, but I didn't want to miss it when it goes up on that next leg. And I'm like, it's nice to be in an asset where, like, okay, price is going down. I bought $1,000 yesterday. Live with everybody, and I woke up this morning and saw it came down more. I bought another 1,300. Like, I'm this close to getting that middle class node, and then I'm gonna be reaching out because I want to fire that thing up. And man, the love that you're getting from the miners, like the mining community is blowing up because of Flux. Like, you guys are the talk of the town right now, man.
We love our miners. Yep, we love our miners. We love our node ops. We love our community members, man. Like, this is the whole reason we did it from the beginning. Very early on, I told these guys, if you follow your mission, the money will follow. But if you follow the money, there will be none.
Yep.
So for us, it's always been about, we're cypherpunks at heart, man. Mm-hmm. Like, when we put stuff together like Fetch and we're talking about it, we could easily charge access fees to that. I mean, and people would pay it hand over fist because that data, that raw data, that unadulterated data that's held on that third part, not held by a third party, that's in a decentralized manner, it's worth its weight in gold. 100%. Data is gold. I was paying
$650 for Masari's elite package. I was paying $10 a month for Into the Block, and then I interviewed ladies called DeFi Trends that are launching some type of indicators, and they're kind of just doing the same thing. Like, they're just pulling aggregated data and they're turning it into an indicator. But that sounds like what you guys are going to have is bullish versus bearish social sentiment. And then now, is this going to turn into a smart learning algorithm? Well, that's another primer that we'll do. Can we not leave that? Down the road. I have a feeling this is where it's going. We'll leave that one kind of quiet for now. But I will tell you this. You mentioned a couple folks that are charging, pretty big money for access to it. And our philosophy was, let's not reinvent the wheel. We already have a lot of this aggregated data that we can capture.
right? And be able to disseminate. So we did that with the pricing structure. One more thing I'll mention is we're not going to reinvent the wheel. Lunar Crush has already been crushing it with their social aggregation pieces, right? They have a very well developed platform, so much to the point where they started to monetize it, which is fine.
I used it in every video I made, right? Like literally every price prediction video I've ever pretty much made, for the most part, 90% have Lunar Crush in there. I was killing it just off popular,
Yep. All you have to do is find out where the excitement is. And that's why we know Flux is doing so well, because we watch it and we're like, holy crap, we're, number one, number three on their popular rank. But, one of the things that Flux paves the way for is not only the crypto space. So we talked about how it would aggregate pricing data and aggregate the social data. But then we start expanding beyond that. Maybe we add standard stock market, maybe we add commodities, maybe we add it's boundless if you have an API. And this is why oracles are so important. They've been misused for very long, by saying, hey, we have these oracles, when they're really not oracles, right? They're just kind of canned data capture models. Let's call them glorified databases, right? Mm-hmm. A true oracle doesn't have a centralized figure that stands them up on their node. So if you have a project that's claiming they have oracles and they're running them on 6 centralized servers, that's not an oracle. Yep. That is not an oracle. An oracle is something that's, it's almost like a centurion, like a gatekeeper, to make sure that all the data that's coming in is raw and unfiltered, and then it's kind of perpetuated out. So, you could really do this in any single market, but we're going to start off with, the crypto market, and then we'll also do the social aggregation, and then we'll look at, what we want to do next.
Now, are there...
And we're making free.
That's insane, man. That's absolutely insane. I know we got to I got Parker's Zelcore interview right after this and starts in 3 minutes, so I'm going to have to cut it a little short, man, but I appreciate your time, and, you're always welcome, man. So, is there anybody that is like a lead on the fetch team or the coin request team that would be interested to come on and do a deeper dive into that? Or I know you're too busy. I don't even want to ask for your time, man. I can't even believe I got you on today. So thank you.
Well, I like these little primers. These are good things for the community and for your viewers as well.
We all love you, man.
We'll get somebody put together. And Ryan, thanks for having me on for this real quick primer. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, man. Dan, I'll catch you guys later, okay?
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day.